3, 2, 1. And come on, let's wave. Welcome to the Wave, the podcast, or the VAbE experience. So, who we are, aren't we a bunch of commoners with perhaps some not so common interests? And definitely an interest to vape together, right?
True that.
So, yep, let me quickly introduce myself. I go by the name Virat, but you guys can call me Mr. V, call me V. What I do is I am a corporate pundit by the day, and I tend to have a knack to bring out the best in people. Now I'll hand it over to AB Chan to take it away.
Hey, thanks, Virat. So I'm AB Chan, and I run this initiative called You Influence Me. And the purpose of this initiative is to highlight one of the most important elements of life, which is called influence, like any person's influence on their friends, family, society, and vice versa. So we try to identify what is the right way to go about things. So that's me.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Influence mattering a lot for everyone.
Absolutely.
It does, it does. Ro, my man, where you at?
Yo,
Go for it.
I'll take that. I'm Rohit, and for all you sexy ladies out there, call me later tonight. I mean, call me Ro.
Mhm.
I use my 10 fingers to type codes, play the piano, and
Okay.
go on a wild chase with your imagination.
Sexy. I like that. I like that. I'll take
I have
that.
to say that's one of the most kick-ass, crazy-ass intros I've ever heard.
I swear. So for all you ladies, that's
Lot
Ro.
of effort being put in there.
Let's go.
I like that. I like that. And yep, big shout out to my man Varun, who's been actually helping us out with this recording at his beautiful place called Desi Labs in Kharghar. I will have his contact information in the description for all of you. And yeah, let's begin vaping. So the whole idea of the podcast was to come up and figure out what VABE is. So VABE, as we abbreviate it for VABE. So that is value, awareness, belief, and experience. So the idea is to have a space, speak to each other, maybe share something, maybe share good things, share some bad things out here, and try and bring out the best in each of us. It's a short life. We are trying to sort of help each other out as we go. And that's the theme for today. So why VABE? Why the podcast? Why the space? And something very interesting, which we were actually trying to explore while we were, sort of sitting at various places, just sipping on our coffees, is that we would end up in long conversations, which would go up for hours. And each and every day we would take away something really beautiful out of it. So I said, why should we be so selfish about it, and why not put it out there? Let others as well take it away from here. So maybe that's, in a nutshell, something for me, that why do we really need a podcast? But I think I'll hand it over to AB Chan. Maybe chime in a bit, or Ro, chime in a bit.
So, as you rightly said, like we've been sipping a lot of coffees these days, and there have been a lot of thoughtful conversations that we've been having, and it really excited me because I spent probably almost a year in Gurgaon, and again we could not be in touch because I always like to, when I'm working, I'm working. When I'm socializing, I do that best. So when I got back and I could remember the conversations that we used to have, we usually used to have back then. We could talk about startups, we could talk about a lot of things, women, entertainment, a lot of categories, genres that we were indulged in. And suddenly when I get back from Gurgaon, and I'm like, oh God, the entire conversation just changed. I mean, I was elated. honestly, to be very honest. And again, credit goes to both of you all, like Rohit and Mr. V. So, and that's what actually prompted me, and I became very bullish that we should actually put it out there so that a lot of people who are probably witnessing the same thing in their lives but do not have the right people, set of people to talk to. So because we have, no matter how good friends we are, and we had commonalities that bonded us all these years. I still remember how when we first met, Rohit, with our common objective was to start up.
Startups, yeah.
So that was the first thing that we bonded over, although we never started up.
Possibly this is the one where we start up.
This is a platform that we could all gather together.
Yeah.
And that's it. I mean, like, I'm very much looking forward to, like, it's my support group, I feel, holding each other accountable in a way. And that, I think Rohit would also like to add a lot about holding accountability and all this stuff. Yeah, please.
So basically, I don't know where to start it from, but I'll be very much open about it. I'm like, I like to put it this way, like, when I let go of what I am, I become what I might. So this is going to be a very deep thing. Like, don't go on like this.
Could you build up on that? I mean,
Let's stop going
it's
on.
very interesting, actually.
Wild imagination. So how would I put it is, like, your whenever you, like, you are going to meet a lot of people, like, we sometimes end up thinking, like, why our life is like this, like, why certain things keep repeating again and again and again, time and again. And we just, like, go through life unconsciously. So again, unconsciously, what do you mean by unconsciously? There is another, like, I'm a very big fan of Carl Gustav Jung. He's a Swiss psychoanalytic psychologist. So he wrote one thing, like, it's a quote by him called, if you...
So Mr. Gustavo wrote it? Or
Carl Gustav Jung.
Oh, these are...
His name, his
Just
complete
for the
name,
initials,
full
so
name is
sorry.
Carl Gustav Jung.
Okay.
So he wrote this. If you go through life unconsciously, it will, what I meant to say is, until unless, okay, I'm not able to recollect the
So I guess
code, actually.
maybe you're trying to reach somewhere where what is it to be alive, right? I mean,
Yeah.
if you just
So most of
Yep.
us are going through life completely unconsciously. There is no accountability, no responsibility, and we keep blaming the external factors because of this, because of that, because of family, because of what, like. So what I elaborate in this is, until and unless you make your unconscious conscious, it will lead your life and you will call it fate. And that is how we come to the point of blaming everyone.
Wow.
beautiful.
That is the
Can you repeat, making your unconscious conscious?
Yeah. Until and unless, this is the quote by Carl Gustav Jung. I just remembered. Until and unless you make your unconscious conscious, it will lead your life and you will call it fate.
Wow.
So by that, it means everyone has to take an inner path, an inner journey.
So the answer is within and not usually outside the
Right.
way we see it.
So in short, if I have to put it this way, every people you are going to meet, every people you have in your life, be it your girlfriend, be it your boyfriend, be it your friends circles, be it your family members, and everyone, they all of them are going to be a mirror reflection to you. You hold certain beliefs, unconscious beliefs that has been ingrained, that has been like a software installed in your mind when you were born. You go through a process of, like, everyone tells you something or the other thing. We cannot remember everything that, like, we have been through in our childhood. So they get these beliefs gets installed like a software, and they form a reality around us. Just imagine how Matrix movies like. And what happens is when we grow up, we are like, imagining, not imagining, but we are experiencing life. What we are experiencing is what we don't understand is we are experiencing our own belief system. So we keep attracting, like maybe we'll say, like, there is a pattern emerging every time. You are constantly getting into toxic relationship, one after another, one after another. But we fail to see, like, why is it happening? No one wants to face their inner demons. And these demons, where do they come from? These are the demons that we ourselves have demonized by the means of, if someone, like, you are a child and you were told, like, boys shouldn't cry, or
By demons, I'm so sorry to interrupt. So by demons, I just realized
it is
I remember
we are
the quote by Tony
categorizing.
Stark, like, we create our own demons.
We create,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
how do we
Yeah.
create our own demons?
But Guy Ritchie was
These
the villain.
demons
Yeah,
are
please.
the essential part of us. These demons holds the true potential that we suppress inside us.
But don't you think calling it demon itself is kind of demeaning or demonizing the idea of your own self, right? I mean, somewhere when you say that you're sure it's a part of me, it's something which I totally own up, because it has come in from somewhere, in terms of, like, perhaps your during a childhood situation, someone told you that, you know what, you're not supposed to cry. So instead of I mean, for me, I think demonizing is maybe a bit too harsh a word for it, because I think we always perhaps are not kind to ourselves, and that's where we would ideally want to be, right? So
That
the,
is
the whole need for having a space for yourself where you can be kind, and yeah, demonizing is actually, I mean, I think I will agree with Rohit about one thing, that there are certain things which we actually don't appreciate about ourselves, and which is absolutely fine. But somewhere we need to be of some sort of an acceptance as well towards it, right? I mean, Rohit, if you can just weigh in somewhere here, because I think beautifully put in terms of how do we really look at our demons, and how do we really embrace them. Right.
So when you said we do not appreciate ourselves, so basically we are also a product of society. Virat and Rohit, when was the last time you actually saw someone who knew how to appreciate themselves and you felt, oh yes, this is something that I would like to take away from that person?
So I mean, downplaying, isn't that one of the most common things? I mean, I completely agree with you. I haven't seen someone who's
me too. I have not come across any individual, men and women, who could appreciate themselves. And even if I came across such individuals, I honestly am wired such a way that I might have labeled them as cocky. Show off.
sure. So I mean, that's how funny the whole surroundings work, right? I mean, what sort of an environment you were in? I mean, Ro was, I mean, bang on that as a child you've been through certain traumas, you've been through certain life situations which ideally you shaped you as a person. So the innate need to have a space, innate need to have a surrounding. So in India we have this concept of katta. For the larger audience, it's a place where all the boys in the evening would meet up. They'd be talking rubbish. They'd be talking nonsense. They'd be
Garbage.
still having fun. It's probably a get away from someone, more like a very unstructured, informal support group.
De-stressing.
De-stressing, just relieving yourself. Perhaps there'll be intense conversations as well, like we had. So I mean, the whole innate need to have a space, very, very crucial. And for us people to be able to be kind to each other, I think that's the space I would be
But-
looking at.
Yeah. So what I will add here is, like, whatever I'm saying is going to be quite controversial for a lot of people, because I have tried saying this, like, and people just react to it. Now, I'll pick up from where Abhishek said, sometimes if they are cocky, the feeling, the emotion, the rise of the emotion of feeling that triggered you to judge the other person as cocky, it is coming from within ourselves.
The innate
But-
need to judge.
True.
The innate need to judge. But
True,
again,
true.
why is it coming up? Because again, there is another this is in psychology, there is a branch of psychology which deals with projections. Projections is what we do. In projection, what happens when we suppress certain emotions, when we suppress certain belief, when we suppress certain quality of ourselves, because that is not liked by the society. And the society can be anyone. It could be your friends, it could be your family. So we unknowingly suppress them just to be liked by the society. Now what happens is, now just Abhishek said, cocky. I feel that guy is cocky, that girl is cocky.
Full of themselves.
Yeah, full of themselves.
Rubbing
But-
it on people's face.
But in a way, that is projection at work. It is how I would put it is unowned part of yourself.
unowned.
Unowned part of yourself. So you have suppressed that unowned part of yourself, and now it is going to be there. It is a part of your personality. So what happens is now it is getting projected to the person. Your unowned part is going to live through other people. Even if you kill the person, now you are going to judge another person as cocky. Whoever shows that kind of cockiness. What
So
you are
basically
not-
a trait or a feeling that you've been running away
basically,
from.
Right.
And
You are
when
not owning
you are
it.
confronted by
Because-
that in the form of humans, you
Exactly.
repel them.
Because the nature of projection is it is every day going to come and meet you in different forms. Until and unless you own it. It is bro, I'm here only. If you're going to keep rejecting me, if you're keep going to suppressing me, not acknowledge me, the existence, I'm a part of you. I'm going to come out in undesirable ways, and I'm going to punish you for that.
All shapes and forms.
Yeah,
Agree.
because you have rejected it in a way it felt insulted. Every emotion, every suppressed emotion, they are as living and breathing as you are.
True.
They are individuals inside you. That is how psychological splits gets created. They are existing just because there were times something happened to you and they just got created. They came into existence to protect you, and now we have suppressed it, and now it is going to live through others and meet you again and again. So there is this beautiful quote said by someone. I'm not able to remember the name. He said, everything that irritates us about others, it will lead to an understanding of ourselves. What doesn't exist inside us will
Wow.
never bother us.
Wow.
So this is what we call as projection.
believe
Can you
that
actually
was
repeat
me
that? I
all
mean,
day.
it's
So
Yeah.
yeah, on request of VAbE, I'll say it again. Everything that irritates us about others, it will lead to an understanding of ourselves.
wow.
And yeah, it will lead to an understanding of ourselves. What doesn't exist inside us will never bother us.
Mhm.
So that way, this is everything whatever I have said, this only says one thing: the knowledge of the self. And there is no greater knowledge in the world that exists that is above the knowledge of the self. That is how the famous warfare guru Sun Tzu said, know thyself, know thy enemy. 1,000 battles, 1,000 victories. This is everything, be it go to Bible, go to Bhagavad Gita. Every religious book will boil down to the knowledge of the self. And there is no greater knowledge more than the knowledge of the self.
True, I remember you.
And there is
you
no
keep
greater book
bringing that up actually.
Yeah, there is no
Knowledge of
greater
the self.
book in the world, or there is no greater knowledge in the world other than reading. You are the most essential book you need to read. You need to read yourself.
And we've mastered Not
And that is like, there is a code in Bhagavad Gita as well. Like most, like I being an atheist, like I love this code so much. Like I don't have anything against anyone, but like whatever philosophies that fits it on self mastery or the mastery of the emotions.
what was that code?
That was the self is the friend of the man who masters himself through the self.
Wow.
And for the man with no self mastery, the self is like an enemy at war. So if you have
100%,
enemy inside you,
100%.
there is no greater enemy outside that exists outside you.
I need some education on this. Two huge lines that you just said. I mean, please break it down.
I'll WhatsApp you.
No, I mean for the listeners actually,
Yeah.
because this
So-
is something. I mean,
Yeah. So,
Golden,
holds
golden.
true
Yeah.
value.
Yeah.
so what I will say is this line that the self master itself through the self. So this boils down to like, mastering others or mastering others is power. Mastering yourself is true power. So what
Okay.
happens is if you are owning your own rejected parts that is lying inside you, they come in form of like what we call insecurities. What are insecurities? Why do everyone of us insecurities? So insecurity boils down to all the rejected parts that you have inside you. You haven't owned it. And these rejected part forms a very big, like, it gets denser and denser the more you reject it. The more you reject it, there are more insecurities that is going to build up. So until and unless, this is the path of self-mastery. The path of self-mastery is by going inside, looking inside you. Something triggers you, like, maybe you're going out. Maybe you look at a person and you are like, like, I don't like this person. I don't know, like something is off about this person. Maybe his attitude, maybe his how arrogant he is, maybe his confidence is like, maybe he's not confident, he's overconfident. And that is triggering you. You don't know why. You haven't spoken to that person. You're just going to judge the book by its cover.
I used to feel triggered.
Triggered.
by
Like, why are you
my
triggering?
peers'
I think
confidence?
I know why. Because maybe in your whole lifetime you might just have 10,000 conversations. The only thing common in all these 10,000 conversations, guess what? It's going to be you, right? I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
the only thing that is going to be coming back to you is what you're going to put out there, as beautifully as put in
beautiful
the
as that, yeah.
in the Bhagavad Gita.
Yeah.
So, I mean, for me, Bhagavad Gita is not a religious book. Sorry, it's more of a self-help.
Self-help, yeah, I would say, like the philosophies, but then most of the people do not even, like, they can read it 10,000 times, yet they cannot
And
get
this
it.
very statement would trigger a lot of people.
Yeah.
Let them. I tell them.
Please rewind and understand.
Yeah.
You've not dealt with yourself.
That's something very, very.
Now I can go on and
Yeah.
on and on. Like, I'm still doing. This is the
True.
process of individuation. The process of individuation is you become, through this process of inner work. This is inner work. And through this process, you become an individual. What do you mean by individual? By individual, do you know how, like, what is the meaning of holy?
I mean, I've only
Holy
heard that
man,
in
holy man,
curses
holy
and
woman, holy man,
water.
holy woman.
Okay.
Can you tell me, like, what does it mean to be a holy man or holy woman?
It reminds me of like
Oh
Saint.
my holy child.
Yeah. Again,
pure and pious. Holy.
Perhaps.
that that is very, like, contradictory again. That is what we are primed to believe.
Okay.
But the actual meaning of holy man or holy woman is holy. If you take it and break it, it is wholly. WHOLE.
Okay.
Holy, which again boils
Complete.
down to a whole person and a whole individual.
Wholesome.
A whole individual is a good man or a good woman who have their dark sides under deliberate control. They know, like, they know how to be good to people. They know when to unleash their dark sides.
So-
They know their strengths. They are only focused about conquering themselves. And when you conquer yourself, there is nothing outside you that is inconquerable.
I think a very beautiful conversation we were having yesterday, right, about this. We know we have so much power.
Absolutely.
I can beat the hell out of someone right now, but I choose not to. Isn't that the actual power?
So,
I mean,
like in Avengers, like Scarlett Johansson refers to Hulk, and she's like, so the conclusion, what I took away from it was like, power is not to fight. The power is to knowingly walk away from a fight,
Exactly.
knowing that you would always come out on top.
yeah,
Now, this is the philosophy of martial arts. You learn martial arts not to fight someone. You learn it to have a peaceful life.
yeah,
That is mastering your own strengths. This is the whole philosophy of martial arts is to not to fight. Now you can connect it. Like you have power, but you have deliberately under control. Even the samurais, they never pull out their sword.
even the Bhagavad Gita was written amidst a war,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah. And now, like, if like these deep talks, if I want to, like, the individuation process or owning your rejected parts,
yeah,
if I have to put it in very understandable, like, you don't even have to put a lot of pressure on your mind to, like, what it is, exactly what it is. If I have to give you a picture, I would give it in a way like, have you seen Endless Game, Avengers? Endgame, sorry.
Endgame, yeah.
Endgame.
Yes,
My
I have.
bad. Yeah. Endgame.
am-
So in the Endgame, have you seen Hulk? Have you seen Hulk?
Shown weak disappointed me actually.
Not weak, but
he has a dual personality, right? I mean,
he is integrated.
yeah,
That is the process of integration. Integration is the process of, there is, like, before that movie, there was this fight between the professor and the Hulk.
Yeah.
They were in fight, constant fight.
yeah,
But somewhere they came to a truce.
Also,
So
the
he
version
owned
of
it.
Hulk.
so
He
green
owned
and
the-
brainy, basically.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
So he owned his strengths, his dark sides, and everything. Now in one body, both are living.
Wow. So
That
earlier
is-
they had declared territory. like,
Exactly.
If it's
exactly.
knowledge or
that is
education, then
professor, yeah.
there goes Dr. Banner. And if it's violence, then
Right,
there goes Hulk.
right,
I'm
right.
always angry.
Now they have integrated in the whole personality that they are. They are not ashamed to be like, it's a
Yeah, he
green
was
body.
clicking
Yeah,
selfies
yeah.
as well with the
actually,
kids.
this,
Yeah,
is, this is something which I
This is now
Beautiful.
never took away.
I'll tell you, yeah, this is what I've come to an understanding while I was doing my research on
So that version of him is an
yeah.
integrated version.
integrated version. So integrated version is this. Now this comes down to shadow integration. So these rejected parts.
And
unknown
I have to
parts-
stop you here, like just to get more clarity every time you say part, so
Yeah.
that it doesn't mean organ. So what exactly?
So now you said you're like, I feel that, like, that person is cocky.
okay.
That comes to an understanding. Somewhere you have a cocky personality, but you are not owning it. You are trying to reject it. But you need to own
Yeah,
that.
it
You need
ultimately
to own it.
my conclusion used to be that is not how I would want to conduct myself.
But you cannot choose to reject it as well. You need to own it. You need to
So
absorb
the best
that.
way I learned was avoid.
Avoiding is.
And
the
now I
more-
don't. Now I
yeah.
understand. Now I've learned to accept those
Yeah.
traits.
So what happens is when you avoid or reject your unknown parts, all these shadow parts.
Parts. What do you
These
mean by
parts
part?
are shadow parts. What happens is when you are avoiding this cocky nature of you, it is going to the, like, just imagine unconscious is the below part of the tip of the iceberg.
No,
There is
come
tip
again.
of the iceberg, and what is below the tip of the iceberg is a massive
Huge.
Yeah.
Yes.
chunk of ice that we cannot see.
The
Now-
one that sunk Titanic.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So that is, just imagine unconscious part as that, the unconscious part of the brain. So the unconscious part of the brain is like, you have tiny cells. The, like, this cocky nature you don't like, you are going to, you are deliberately, you are rejecting it. Now it is going to the unconscious. Unconscious has tiny jails, like the
Okay.
cells.
Okay.
So it is going to, like, that cocky part of you is like a child that you never gave a chance to grow up. Now you have locked it down in a dark room. now it is getting angry. It is going to punish you in undesirable ways. That
Should it come out and then it would
exactly.
show
Instead
itself.
of you owning me, you have put me down. You have put me 6 feet under, and now, just to make you realize my value, I'm going to come up when you are least expecting it.
Crazy AV Chan within AV Chan.
Yeah.
Mm.
So this is what a shadow looks like. This is
So
what
the
we call
demon
shadow.
that you were talking
Exactly,
about, yeah.
exactly.
Brings us back to the initial
Exactly.
topic.
The only way to integrate it is you have to first acknowledge it. You need to judge it with no prejudices. You cannot judge it at all. You just need to accept it. Yeah, I accept you are there, and I'm I'm very sorry for not accepting you all these years. And
Making amends.
making amends. Yeah,
So basically,
yeah. You accept.
I'll have
it.
to talk to myself.
Exactly. You need to talk. You need to first.
No, I talk to myself actually.
Yeah.
A lot of things, but
But,
Yeah,
you need
but
to
are you
tap
kind to
into-
yourself while you're talking to yourself?
You need to tap into the
yes,
emotion itself.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Give me an example.
I don't beat myself up over things.
Okay.
So I have been the most kindest person that could be. So basically, I do not expect kindness out there, right?
Okay.
Love out there. So self-love is the most important part. So I cannot particularly remember instances where I have shown great amount of kindness. I've shown abundance in love while talking to myself, but I've pretty much forgiven myself over every shit that I've done in life, be it my poker addiction,
Mhm.
be it my basically when I first started trading stocks, equity, I used to feel like boss. I would be the greatest. I mean, I want to make money, right?
Yeah.
So the desire to make money triumphed the need for knowledge, the necessity.
Interesting.
And I skipped that part because arranging money is quite easy. Where would you gather the knowledge? Knowledge would require self-work as well, discipline.
Yeah.
So I've made a lot of mistakes financially, emotionally, but I've never sulked over it. I've forgiven myself. I'm very easygoing that way. I stopped regretting the day I probably started talking to myself. I stopped regretting any decision because my logic behind how do I tell myself that it's okay if the decision turns out to be wrong is because you need to understand that when you made that decision, that moment was pure.
Okay.
You had no malice, you had no, or maybe let's say I want to do this podcast, right? And obviously this only going to go north, but let's say I say something bad and it comes back to me. Or let's say we were having holy or some religious discussion, or in the flow I say something, I would still not regret. Because in that moment, because I knew I didn't mean harm, I just was trying to put out my opinions out there.
So choosing your mantle, I mean, whatever you actually own is possibly the way you see you're maybe giving kindness to yourself, or am I getting it wrong?
No, I didn't get the mental part.
So the mental part is basically like you just said, right? Ki we're talking about something holy, and then possibly you come up with an example not so holy, but you still own it up, right? I mean, it's a part of your
Correct, I
mantle,
would
right?
definitely accept my mistake because I don't lie to myself also.
Right.
I always accept because I find no shame in accepting. So how am I able to publicly accept all my failures? How am I able
Exactly.
to, how am I
Yeah.
able to, even to someone I met few minutes ago, I don't mind saying, bloody, I was addicted to poker. I lost lakhs in poker.
Yeah.
That is not being inconsiderate at all. That is me being in terms with myself that I've accepted.
And when you accept
That
it,
I am open to any and everyone who's wanting to listen. If you tell me about poker, I'll tell you what my journey has been.
exactly.
Right.
But if you, in a way, it's just an assumption. In a way, if you had shamed yourself, what did I do?
Yeah.
I'm a bad person. I'm this and that. If you do that, and okay, you've forgotten about it. Okay, let it go. I'm not going to something like you've forgotten about it. And when some other person comes up and tells you, poker is a a loser's game. this and that. Like just an assumption I'm saying. So you would instantly feel triggered because
It would bring back those emotions.
exactly. Now you are going to be in a reactive state. You don't know why you are reacting, but somewhere that guy said in a very joking way, but it triggered you. It pushed all your wrong buttons. This is what happens, like,
So I feel like
so you have owned it up. Now,
Correct.
if anyone makes fun of, like, even in a jokingly way, in a joking manner, you're not going to feel triggered.
now I don't feel triggered
Yeah.
and not so earlier.
Because
Like
you
what
accept yourself.
you just said actually makes sense because
Yeah.
it never triggered any negative emotions in me, but I always got defensive.
You got defensive.
Like if you say like poker is a shitty game and people lose money all the time, then I'm like, no, look at Daniel Negreanu. So I would try to relate to some
Yeah,
very
yeah,
few hyper successful people.
Yeah.
Like stocks.
try to prove.
My mom still says this is gamble. So I always used to be defensive. The logic or for me the correct approach was to stop defending.
Exactly.
People will assume,
Yeah.
even no matter how hard I defend with facts,
Yeah.
even if I'm
The
a
only
successful
fact is-
person
Yeah.
in riskiest domains,
Yeah.
people will still not believe that it's
Yeah.
good for them. If I tell you like I've made lakhs of money in poker, if you want to play poker, you will
Yeah.
play. If you don't want to, you'll still feel this is a shitty game.
This is, yeah.
The chances of winning is
Yeah.
So
0 to none.
since you are kind of owning and battling your inner demons, the other person as well might just be battling that, right? I mean,
Correct, and
Yeah.
I'm
But
And
yeah, we can say that.
what I've also realized is, and what I feel absolutely confident about is, no one can love me the way I want to be loved. So like I never beat myself up. I never regret my decisions because, like I said, in that moment, that decision was pure. I felt that was the most correct thing to do, and it didn't turn out to be positive or fruitful for me. So it's okay.
yeah,
But
you own it up.
Exactly, but then again, criticizing is for others that I'm willing to give that JD. That job is for you guys. Me saying that Daddy, I want to start a cart, vegetable cart.
okay.
Not so basically now we've reached a level where we obviously support no matter how minuscule or big the idea is. But a lot of people would say this is nonsense.
Yeah.
What are you doing? I mean, look at yourself.
Right.
And like you are knowledgeable, you've done some good shit in your life. I've run businesses. They would say buy a cart. Can't you do something more sophisticated? So criticism, I leave it for the people. I don't get influenced either.
Yeah.
I don't get influenced either. So maybe that is not to mean that is not a drawback. I decide for myself, basically.
That is all you can do.
So that is that was the unsaid condition.
And in this
No,
world,
I think I'll distinguish one fact over here. You talk about criticism, and you talk about help or support per se.
Oh, all right.
Okay.
Help.
So now some people tend to feel that like your mother, you just refer to her saying that she thinks playing in the stock market.
to get worried all the time. Breakfast जल जाता था.
market crash हो जाता था घर पे.
Yeah. But then again, now when you see her criticism, she's probably operating out of her fear or probably her love or probably her way of helping you towards.
So absolutely,
Yeah.
you need to understand why do people say no to you for your thoughts.
So that is
But-
there is only one reason.
But hold on, hang on. But the way I see it, if you actually want to help someone, just help him.
Help.
Support. You need not necessarily showcase your fears or wherever you're operating from.
Never project your fears because the reason you say no to someone's
Yeah.
idea is because you. One of the few reasons is one, you do not understand it well. We always fear what we cannot see.
True.
So we always fear what we cannot understand, what we don't understand. Then there are fears of what we don't want to understand.
Yep.
So it's a personal choice altogether. People have learned to live with it over the years. Their kids will learn to live with it soon, unless they have a support group where people of diverse mindset would come and hold each other accountable. You just understand, just let's think of a scenario.
Okay.
6 years back or 7 years back, when the first time we met, now what we call criticism, right? We don't, I personally don't think we criticize each other.
No.
We are more open in our thoughts. You do something which I feel should not have been done, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
So I don't think we criticize each other. We are more open to communicate.
In
Agreed.
a way, positive criticism.
Had we done
Build
this 6 years back or 7 years back when we just met,
Must have
how
been
would we take it?
way different.
Be different. Yeah.
Way different.
We'll be triggered bunch
So
of guys.
we could have been the product of our parents, of their own mentality. We chose not to proceed.
There's one demon which is usually, I mean, it how do I say it? It uses its ninja techniques to just step in while you're helping. Is that the word? Yeah, that's the word. So the word I'm looking for is expectation. Right. So I'm coming up to you, probably criticizing you, telling you, you know what, out of my love, out of my help, out of my support, I'm trying to do that. But when somehow through my help, I'm expecting something out of you. Maybe, you know what, tomorrow he helps me with this. Maybe tomorrow he'll help me with my stuff. I understand. I get it. I mean, that's how humans typically are wired for. But ideally, for me, I think if you actually try and operate out of a position of zero expectations and just helping for actually that person, you never know what sort of fulfillment you might just get.
So I feel people who expect all the time, at times I like to be brutal. I call them weak men.
Why would you do that?
If it's a monetary expectation, then they are financially weak. If it's an emotional expectation, let's say we go out and I'm like, let's have a few drinks. Let's park our vehicle somewhere, go to a nearest lounge or whatever the place is. Let's have a few drinks. I was the one influencing your decision. We were headed home, but I was the one tried to influence you both. We went there. And now, tomorrow or next week or next month, when you feel like going for a drink and when you try to influence our decision, I say no. And you feel like तेरे को जब चाहिए रहता है, तू करता है.
So the obligation,
Why the
This is
unsaid?
what I say is neediness. Like, if I have to put it in a way, like, you know, how, like, you know, guys goes
So
to
people
goes to a girl.
tend to, so on the unsaid conversation, people tend to oblige with an expectation that you would do it too.
That is cloaking your intentions behind.
And I absolutely hate such things.
Yeah, that is not being truthful.
but can you? I mean, ठीक है.
You helping me with 5,000
Yeah.
when I need it, and then you expecting. So let's say I helped you with 5K, right? And you gave it back to me, and all said and done, and months go by, and then I ask for the same help, but not 5,000, maybe less or maybe more. And just imagine how you would feel when you are not. So basically, let's say you are not able to help me because of whatever situation that you are in.
Yeah.
And me telling you that, boss, when you needed money, I helped you. And now when I need it most, you're bloody denying. I feel betrayed. Like I counted on you, brother. Because when you asked for that 5,000, I didn't tell you how I arranged it. I probably asked it from Rohit. I probably asked it from my parents or my other friends. And I gave it to you. So I feel so much obligated to my notions, my feelings, for the effort that I put in just to satisfy my friend, to help my friend in need. And when I hear a no, and I'm like, or maybe, and there are two types of people who would confront you with this feeling. Like, boss, I helped you, and why are you not helping me back? I think you do your best. You do whatever you have to do and give me this money. I need it. And then the second set of person would be, won't say at all. And they'll be like, Then he'll be talking to his friends. Ki sala, When I asked him for money, when he asked me for money, I gave him. And he's not a good person. And the shitty person is not the person who's saying it to his friend. The most shittiest person is the one who's saying, "Haan, wo chutiya hai. He shouldn't have done that way. How can he not help you?" So I always say, be afraid of the yes man.
Wow.
You need people to show you the most brutal reality, the way it is. Call a spade a spade. Don't just keep nodding your head. Half the time we nod because we don't want to indulge in a debate, conversation, or extended form of conversation.
Just to avoid. Yeah.
Exactly.
See, either two things happen.
So don't avoid conversations with that person. Avoid that person in entirety.
Yeah, so what I will add to this is either two things will happen. If that happens with me, I will see if the person is not capable, like I'm in an urgent need, then I'm going to ask the person, "You okay? I need some favor, need some help." But I'll first gauge his position. If he's really in a position what I'm going to ask is going to take
And
the peace of
you
mind.
gauge
from
my
him.
position, that is you assuming. When you assume, you're only a bitch. I heard it in a movie.
Let me complete it.
So,
Yeah,
how can you effectively gauge then?
So that is by just asking, okay, can you help me?
Okay.
I'm in an urgent position. So
Yeah.
if that is not going to happen, I cannot do anything about it. I cannot judge the person for not helping, no matter what position they are in. But it tells about the person how do I matter to that person? How do I matter to that person? Just if I have a genuine urgent requirement and I cannot arrange it from anywhere. These are some certain.
So I still feel that instead of
But the person
coming
is
to a
not under
conclusion
any
that
obligation.
whether I'm valid in Virat's life or Rohit's life, to the extent that they would help me no matter what.
But you just walk away. You cannot do
You
anything
have
about
to
it.
actually.
You cannot
just
do anything.
have to.
Yeah. But yeah, what I'm saying is, if then you have to actually walk away. You cannot do anything about or judge the person for okay, he cannot help it. He's I helped him. You cannot bring that thing.
No, I think you need to see it for what it is.
Yeah, exactly. See it for what it is. You cannot do okay, this person is not helping. I'll go to someone else. Maybe I'll find 1,000 reasons. But end of the day,
And
it boils down to the
And
self-respect.
the day you learn to stop yourself from doing the obvious thing. So I was talking to someone the other day. I was talking to Deepu, I believe. So I was like, I like to believe in ideal situations, like acting ideally.
Okay.
Like, you say something mean to me. What has to be my obvious reaction? You being an outsider.
Okay. So I was being mean to you.
So
Okay.
you're being mean to me and you're saying some mean things, using some abusive words.
Okay.
So there is an ideal reaction and there is an obvious reaction in my eyes.
Okay.
So the obvious reaction would have been to retaliate.
Okay. Give it back.
Yeah. Put them in their place.
Multifolds. Yeah.
Correct. Yes. I don't prefer doing that. So I always try to wait, like calm. Okay, if I want to retaliate, I can still do it after 2 minutes of self-analysis. I would always try. I always try to do it the ideal way. There is no point in, so basically that person is committed. That person is committed to engage in a physical fight with me or a verbal fight with me. So I admire the commitment with which they are coming at me. Am I that type of a person is the first question I would look at. So basically I know I'm not a violent person. I can't even remember where I had a verbal spat with anyone. Right? So if they can remain committed to their cause, why can't we?
Beautiful.
Stay committed, just walk away.
Beautiful.
Just walk away. Don't burden yourself with what you have to do. Because when you think what you have to do is what you actually mean, that what the people around you expect you to do. Go Jackie Chan on them. this is not life. You would be getting stitches.
Would differ here a little bit. I'll beg to differ a little bit.
Yeah, please.
Go on.
So now the situation, if the person is like, okay.
No, so
since
back to differ has to be in the same scenario.
In the same scenario.
Yes.
If the person is like, in the first or second instance is like, ready to engage in a fight. You're trying to walk away, but he wouldn't let you.
So then that's a different thing.
That's a different situation
That's a different-
altogether.
That is now
So basically, the trigger point or the point of engagement, the initiation of that engagement for me would not be just because he touched me or pushed me.
Mhm.
No.
Yeah. Then you have to.
So the minute his physical actions make my body hurt is the time that then again I would like to think how much I would want to unleash. Now here I'm not even saying ki how fit I am to engage in a fist fight.
But again,
Look,
you
I'm
have
completely
to
not
engage.
like I'm not at all fit. But then again, it's like you do your best, right? You
Exactly.
try your
Yeah.
might.
You cannot go through hell with a halo on your head.
But then again, just imagine like even if that person is picking on you, pushing you,
Yeah.
so you also need to understand how fit you are.
But you are in no position to analyze. Because
I was reading, there was a podcast the other day that I was going through. So the person says, if there's a person with a gun or a knife in front of you,
Mhm.
what is the best thing you can do? Even if you are trained, but I'm trained. Maybe he was an ex-Navy SEAL guy, and he was like, till this date, I feel my best tools in that scenario are my legs. I'll run because I don't want to know the level to which that person can go
Mhm.
to hurt me.
No, that is.
Why would I want to know? Why would I want to open that door at all? I would want to run as fast as possible because when I went to a pub, when I went to a bar, I didn't go there to prove someone anything, right? I just came there to chill, have a good time with my friends. So I just feel like you need to understand where you want to engage and how, in what capacity. A lot of guys I know who are physically fit, capable of engaging two people at one time, would not even think twice before
Going in
unleashing
completely.
themselves on them. Because they've trained so hard and now they want to scratch that itch. They want to know every time how effective they are. Two people's not
That
enough.
is how
Let's pick a
they-
bigger fight. Let's call their mothers out.
Mhm.
There was a movie that I remember. So even I feel like, yaar, kabhi mujhe aisa, like I want to be that fit that. So basically, there's a guy who's drunk and maybe he's trying to pick a fight with someone. He's persistently saying something to a guy at the table, and three people walk up to him, and he's on the bar stool, and they're like, "Let's go outside." So he's like, "You guys are three. This is insulting. Come back when there's 10 of you." And I was pretty young at that point. I believe I was 15 or 16 years old, and I actually wished that, wow, what would I give to be in that position? To actually mean it, not just say that line and get beaten the shit out of.
Yeah.
No, not that,
That'll be
but to
fun.
actually mean that, to actually be that capable. But then now, I don't want to. Why?
But I have like there was this incident like when I was with my friend and we went to some place and there was this guy like who was trying to pick up on us.
Pick on you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pick on you. Okay.
Pick on us. So my friend he
Build up.
no he was extremely afraid. He was
Okay.
trying to sweet talk out of the fight.
Yeah.
And I held myself back. I was like, okay, let's talk and let's let's not pick a fight here. But he was the bully guy. He was extremely reluctant. He wanted to maybe try to rob us or something. So he started dominating us. Like you have to sit over here and this and that. I lost all my cool. I tried to warn him. I stood up, and there was barely maybe 2 inch of difference between when I was standing up to him. I knew, like, my
2
legs.
Yeah.
So
2
you
inches.
could smell each other's
Yeah,
breath.
we could easily make out like that.
I don't think you're into that.
Yeah,
No.
yeah. No, but I was not in a movie.
You,
setting, so
you were that up close.
I was
Yeah.
that close.
Yeah.
And I don't know, at the same time,
Were you intoxicated?
not at all. So I was not
Nice.
intoxicated. I was in all my senses. What I felt was, like, my legs were shivering out of a lot of anxiety and fear. But I was like, I'm not going to let this go like that. If he's going to, let's see who is going to, raise the hand first. I'm trying to go from here, this place with my friend, go away.
So you held your grounds basically.
I held
yeah.
my grounds.
Yeah.
I stood up to him and I raised my voice and I asked him to lower his voice. And he was like, maybe if he had a knife or something, he would have stabbed me. But I was like, I'm not going from this place without a fight if he's going to start it. I'm
So
going to
was that
give
the
taste.
desire to prove to yourself?
Not at all.
Because I would
Not
never
at
say
all.
that you wanted to prove it to him
Not
that
at all.
who you are. But
I
because
wanted
you say
to
you
warn
had a
him.
shivering knee, like you were weak,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I felt
You were
very
shaking.
weak. I felt very weak. Even after that, I was like, it's okay to feel anxiety. I stood up my grounds and he didn't do anything. He was still giving me warning signs and everything. I like, you fucking lower your voice. Don't you know who you are talking to?
Bloody can't even imagine him being angry.
Oh my God, my
Never seen him
chest
angry.
was like, I could feel like, there is a burning
Sensation.
inferno inside my chest. And I
Yeah.
was like, I'm going to punch this guy's face if he's going to
Punch
push me more. Yeah. And he stood his ground
Yeah.
and we left from there. My friend, like, we are not in his area. He had his men around. It's like, if you are going to, like, be a weakling, if you are going to showcase that, he would have robbed us. You had to, like, even my brain was working at a very fast speed. I was like, should I fight? Should I, like, back down or what?
So Mr.
That's
B,
like-
I mean, the quote, does it fit in here? Sometimes you have to be the lion to be the lamb you really are.
Oh yeah. We just read that today.
Yesterday.
Yesterday.
So
So, I mean, it does
Yeah,
relate to
I
this incident,
didn't
right?
want to, but I was in a position to hold myself as well as
So you
start the
wanted,
fight.
so the reason that you felt justified doing that action was because if you appeared weak,
Yeah.
He would have robbed us. I was very
Definitely,
definite. I was
definitely.
then
very
things could have
definite.
gone
Would have
worse.
swiped you right there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
His men would have
So
come.
that was like a show cause.
Yeah. I wanted to warn him, like, don't underestimate us.
So I mean that's the thing about bullies, right? I mean
That is the
they'll
thing,
only
you stand up to them no matter how
Barking
scared
dogs
you
will
are.
come, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you should be like, it is a position of like, even if he raises his hand,
Yeah.
you should be able to retaliate as well. You should be able to get in the fight and give him the taste of his own medicine.
But then I just feel
But
like,
if
how
you are-
many people would actually have this purpose to stand up
That
to a
is
guy?
that is
A lot of people get ticked off easy.
yeah, because I was not a guy like who would stand up to anyone like that. I was a very
No,
weak guy.
but again, I mean, you were standing up for yourself, right? I mean, and you knew that
And for
there was
friends,
nothing
I mean,
wrong.
since
Of
For my
course.
friend,
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I knew if I'm not going to stand up, this guy is already scared. Shit
Yeah.
scared.
Yeah.
If I'm not going to be the one to, like, stand up and stand my grounds, we are going to get robbed. Maybe,
Perhaps worse.
yeah, perhaps worse. But I was like, let's see, whatever happens, we'll deal with it. Let's see. But it is very important to, like, even in a position of putting a fight, even without putting a fight, you are standing somewhere in between. But you are ready for the consequences as well.
Responsibility.
Yeah. You hold yourself that way. What happens? You give yourself proof that you have the strength. It is coming inside you because strength comes from weakness and vulnerability. Not weakness, I would say, but you need to be vulnerable in order to derive the strength. Because
Fear
fear.
as well.
Yeah. I was extremely scared, but I was like, no, this is not going to be like this. I'm going to
Never.
put up a fight if he's like, going to push us further. But that way he backed off. We went out from there, like, we left the place. And now today, like, you can see
That's why I always carry a taser.
Yeah.
Pepper spray.
Although it's not legal, but yeah.
That is why I'm like, right now live and talking in VAbE.
Wow, man.
Waving. Oh, waving.
How do you, man?
No, but again, I think this is what we're doing, right? I mean,
Even in the art of war, that is the saying. Even if you are weak or if you feel weak or anything,
mhm.
just appear poisonous.
Yeah, appearances matter too.
Appearances matter too.
So just understand, I mean, so like I have seen a lot of bullies like growing up. And now like the other day I was just thinking like how scary these guys would appear. I mean
Yeah.
with their looks and everything. So
Yeah.
I realized that they have to look scary, right?
I mean, that's why they are bullies.
So
yeah.
that is like half job done, half war won.
Yeah.
Correct.
Bullies are like, I would say they are
And,
extremely.
and I came to know like once I was in Pune and I don't remember which launch was it. It was near Cement Tech building. So
Yeah,
there are a couple of launches.
Correct. Yeah. Baner, Pune.
Baner, Pune, correct.
Yeah.
So I believe this is back in 2018 when I just shifted to Pune and April 1st ho gaya tha, like it was past midnight 12
Okay.
and it was April 1st now. And there were a bunch of kids and I was like, I had a couple of beers, but not that drunk. I could walk myself home.
Mhm.
And I was just trying to cross the road to catch a wreck. And I could see like I was smoking and I could see a bunch of kids and they were trying to prank people.
Mhm.
Okay.
I don't know what excitement they had to do it.
Some
Or maybe they were
motivation,
just trying to scare the shit out of people.
April Fool's Day, perhaps.
I swear, and it was the most satisfying night of my life. So what happened was like I crossed the rickshaw and I was still smoking and I didn't realize like there was someone behind me and I just felt someone was touching my back and मैं तो फट गई थी. I was like scared. Who the fuck is that? I just turned and that kid got scared. The whole bunch apologized. Of course, I had beard, but then
Of course.
again, you don't realize what your demeanor is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Only others can tell you how
Yeah.
you appear.
Right.
So I felt like,
appearances
oh
matter.
yeah,
Yeah.
this is actually helpful. But I always used to like a lot of people used to say you look old, and I never felt bad. So basically, like I've got we are like 13 first cousins,
Mhm.
and the eldest of my cousin, first cousin,
Yeah.
still looks younger than me. I used to always say my cousin brother used to tease me. He's like, ये बचपन में ही adult हो गया था. Because I like till 8th standard I was like this chubby kid, fair, and then suddenly what happened, like when I returned from Rishikesh after a vacation and I was like tall, tall, and full of pimples and scary as fuck, and it changed everything for me. Like that changed. So I had to stay positive, right? So I always told myself like it's good to look serious.
You actually embraced your
I
true
have
self.
always, because who will embrace it?
Yeah.
Who will do it for
Absolutely.
me? We'll do it for
No
me.
one can love
So
you more.
I'll tell you a lot. For a
You
lot
can
of
love
things,
yourself.
the feeling has to always outweigh
Mhm.
the intent or the problem, right? When we say
Come
we
again, come
understand.
again,
So
come again, come
basically,
again.
we know if we embrace ourselves,
Mhm.
it does shitloads of good to you.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Everyone would say yes to that. How many of us do actually believe? And how many of us are actually able to do it? If you're not able to do it, then you lack belief.
Okay.
Otherwise, what stops you from doing it? Do you? So let me ask, like, Mr. V, do you embrace? Are you able to embrace yourself in every situation for every decision that didn't turn out to be in your favor?
It's a bit difficult, for sure.
Beat
I mean,
yourself up.
I used to, but now I don't.
How you used to beat yourself up?
I mean, first off,
Have you abused yourself?
Physically, no.
No. I mean, when you're talking to yourself, do
Oh
you
yeah.
use
Absolutely,
abusive languages?
absolutely. I mean, the drop of the hat conversation would be "Kya chutiya hai tu?" What a dumb fuck
should
could you
never
be? I mean, I know you shouldn't.
Easier said than done, actually.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And
yeah.
we have been in those
No,
situations.
we've conditioned ourselves to sort of push ourselves to the limit. Why? I mean, I get it. Okay, it's a competitive world. It's a very harsh world outside. But inside you, there's just one person. I mean, can't you just be kind to that person?
Mhm.
That's the least you could do, right? I mean, and again, coming back to the whole premise of why we are here. I mean, trying to sort of integrate the whole situation of knowing thyself, of the journey being within, or
Mhm.
or even bullying or standing up to everything. Can we start off somewhere where we can be kind to each other without expecting anything?
Absolutely, yes.
I mean,
But can you be kind to yourself without
yeah,
expectations?
I mean
Now,
that's
what I wanted to ask is
Yeah.
like how long we've known each other, you and I.
we go. I mean, proper conversationally, perhaps around 7 years.
2015,
7
is the
years.
time when we started interacting, right?
But
And
Yeah.
like I could easily say that I have immense love and respect for you.
Hmm.
What adds to this immense love and respect? I'll tell you first, tenuity. The tenure
Right.
that we've been together.
Right.
Now, the reason we've been together is because we are aligned.
Agree.
So I love you for the fact that you are who you are and I am comfortable with
Yeah.
your vibe.
Hmm.
Correct? Now, I know Nikhil for the past 14 years. Like 2006, we entered 11th standard in MGM
Okay.
and I know him till date. He's the oldest friend I know till date.
Yeah.
He would take a bullet for me.
Absolutely.
There's no doubt.
I mean, I think everyone in this
And-
room would.
I like to be honest, I would have taken the same for him until
Beautiful.
a few years. Now, why I don't want to take a bullet for him?
Okay.
Because we love each other or we love the loved ones out of tenuity, right?
Do we?
Nikhil is the oldest that I know.
Yeah.
And look at the amount of respect and love. We know each other for 7 years. Look at the amount of respect
Double,
and love.
yeah.
Bloody, you've been with yourself for the past 32
32
years.
years.
And look at the amount of respect and love.
True.
I mean, are we kidding ourselves or not?
True.
And we still try to figure out how.
The charity begins at home. Ultimately.
I swear, man.
You know how I take
and you're not home with yourself. That's the worst place you would want to be.
Seriously.
the best thing I could do for myself is like, I can I stand in front of a mirror, I can see myself, and the feeling I get is like, I can make out with this guy. That is what I have tried it as well. I get laid by myself and fuck myself. But that is an
love,
expression
No,
of
but-
that is
self-love.
love.
That is an
I
expression
mean,
of self-love.
I don't think it gets any more raw than that.
It
I mean,
couldn't.
it couldn't, right?
When
I mean,
you love
don't
yourself
yeah.
like that,
You don't need
Unconditionally.
anyone or anything or any
you
means.
tell yourself like, even if tomorrow no one is going to be there, I'm going to be there. You have my back.
And that's
That is what you need
the
to tell
actual
yourself.
reality.
Yeah.
Forget truth.
Yeah,
I mean, when there is no one, there's absolutely
Exactly.
yourself for yourself.
exactly.
Like the other day, you were telling me, you had asked, like, would you drag yourself to the gym?
Yeah.
If the answer is yes, then it's not one man's job. That is Mr. V and the inner Mr. V
Absolutely.
working together,
True.
hand in hand,
True.
and getting it done.
Get that workout in. Yeah.
Mhm.
Then
Beautiful. Beautiful. But I guess, I mean, still the world does need
still
some more.
self-love. I
Yeah.
mean, see, what happens is, like, I feel the first act of self-love is by eliminating a few aspects.
As in,
Don't shy away from eliminating people from your lives. I'll tell you honestly, to reach this level of understanding, to reach this level of I feel I'm successful. So I would say, to reach this level of success, although I'm not where I aspire to be, but yes, I have outgrown, I have outshined market expectations, family expectations, and my expectations too. But for me to reach here, I could name all the people I had to leave behind. And I'll tell you honestly, so I mean, this is what worked for me, and this was not planned. I just had to drop people because I knew I could not fake with a lot of people. So there were people that I chose to be around, that I had to fake to be loved so that I could be a part of them. And there were people that I didn't find as interesting as the others.
That is it.
And I could accept that what I'm doing is not that good, but I'm doing what is good for me today. There are a lot of people that I still don't pick up calls of, and they've stopped calling me. I know it doesn't look good, but then again, ultimately, so I always,
You can't care
like
enough.
even out of, so it's not like I don't give a fuck. That would be rude. Not that I want to be, because yes, there has been respect, and I still respect them. I don't never badmouth them. Whenever we talk about friends, I do talk about the fallen heroes of my life, right? So basically, it's like I need to protect myself first, and this is the very primal feeling that I have every morning. Although I do not say it, but now that I've said it, I feel I should say it every morning. Like, I need to protect myself first. You could say I need to love myself first. You seek protection from others. There are people, and we all have met such people who are like, you have any problem, bro, you call me at the middle of the night. I'll get guys and we'll fuck them up. I don't need such people.
So what I understand is the cost of self-love and self-care.
So,
You are
absolute.
going to disappoint
It's
a lot
huge,
of people.
and you should never
And we
doubt the process. You just look at the people you've disappointed
Yeah.
and to what level.
That is the cost of self-love and self-care.
So I mean, I don't think I've disappointed this guy, but I don't think we've even grown apart. But this guy actually said this very beautiful thing.
Guy or girl?
A guy, for sure. The girls don't say much.
Just checking.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Please.
so
Ghee shakkar.
maybe kuch aur bhi.
Another podcast.
And the beautiful thing which he said, I will never forget that. I mean, we were way young when he said that. I guess we were 16, 17 when he said this. He said that people who would want to be with you, no matter what, time, days, time zones, distances, nothing would matter. They will always be around for you whenever you sort of need them, or whenever you need to be for them per se. And I mean the whole arrangement here was without any expectations, as simple as that, as pure as that. I don't think we speak to each other as oftenly as we are speaking to each other right now, but he knows that I have best interests in my heart for him. Whenever he needs me, I'm definitely going to be there. I mean, whenever. I mean, without expectations, of course.
In your own capacity.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, going out of my way, certainly, to whatever I can. And I don't think I need to expect that, but he's actually told me this. कभी भी लगेगा एक call away फर्क नहीं पड़ता है, तू कर, तभी देखेंगे. So maybe that's exactly what the world just needs.
People like these, are you suggesting?
Not just people, but maybe belief systems like these. That maybe if you put it out there. I guess, Ro, you were telling me the other day you helped out someone.
Yeah.
Could you just come up with that? That was beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah. So what I believe in is, like, you are going to, when you're trying to help someone, yeah. So
Yeah.
when you're trying to help someone, there should never be any kind of expectations attached. Now, how would I demonstrate that? He's like, there was, I was, so I develop cloud applications and mobile applications.
Yeah.
I keep getting some or the other, like, requests on LinkedIn. Like, there was this friend of mine who is in the US, and he requested, like, would you be able to build so and so application for us? And I didn't have the capacity or the time to, like, I know I cannot put in my time in this. So I told him, okay, what I'll do, let me check in my circle if someone else out is there to help you with this. I'll let you know. So I was working out of this cafe, and the usual cafe we all go to. And what happened was there was this guy just randomly ऐसे मिल गया था, and I told him, like, okay, so I have a project. Would you be interested in, like, my there's this friend of mine who is looking for so and so person who can take up this project. And I just wanted the best of, like, I had the best of interest for him, as well as, like, beat anyone. I am not even in touch with that friend of mine, but it just, like, came out of just, he pinged me over LinkedIn. And so I told this friend I met in cafe, I told him, would you be interested in this so and so project? He was like,
So Mr.
gladly.
X requested your
Yeah.
help for a project. You met Mr. Y
Yeah, Mr. Y, and it was a new friendship. So
with Mr. Y.
Mr. Y, yeah.
Yeah.
Mr. X was my
friend of yours.
Yeah, senior in my college, engineering college, and Mr. Y was like he was open for that
Yeah.
project. So before that, I had asked Mr. Y, like, have you done any project, like, maybe in dollars and like somewhere offshore out of India projects. So he didn't have any projects basis, something like that.
Okay.
But he was interested, but he
Okay.
didn't know how to get that. So I told him, like, I have this project. Would you be interested? This, like, my friend is in the US, Mr. X.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he was very gladly, he accepted that project. I was like, I'll connect you two. I don't want anything, like, this is my thought. I don't want any part in this. If it helps you and if it helps him, very good. I'm more than happy to be
Be
part
the
of-
bridge
yeah,
without a toll.
brokering this, yeah,
Yeah.
without any expectations in return. And I, like, pinged my friend Mr. X, and I gave him the contact of Mr. Y, and they spoke, and, like, some, like, उनकी बात हो गई. And उसके बाद this, like, after few days I met Mr. Y again,
Yeah.
and he was very happy. He took the project and he was extremely happy, and I was more happy to see that, like, okay, dude, you are happy. I'm more happy you got help.
So what I would want you to do here is probably identify the happiness. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, not just that, but
mere
can you
sense of happiness, the kind of happiness I got is, like, Mr. X got in touch with Mr. Y person,
yeah.
and the way it worked out for them, I don't want anything else. Like, it worked out for them. I'm more than happy to see that.
So what sort of fulfillment did you get out of it? I mean,
I cannot even put it in the words.
yeah.
It is that kind of fulfillment. Like, it worked wonderfully for them. I didn't expect anything. And after a week, now what happened now, the beauty of this kind of, like, giving without any expectations is it comes in beautiful ways back to you. So what happened after a couple of weeks, I'm, like, right now putting my own IT firm. So for that, I need to show some work, some
Do
portfolio,
say the
yeah?
name. We
Yeah,
would like all to know.
portfolio of work. And
No, what the name of your firm that you
Yeah.
just set up?
it's Acro Inc. Acro Inc.
Okay.
Yeah,
Could you spell
Acro
that
Inc.
out for us?
ACKROINC.
Okay.
Nice.
Acro Inc. So I want to start a business in the area of, like, I can take a website, web development, cloud application, mobile application, everything related to IT.
Yeah.
So I told Mr. Y, like, I'm putting this, and I don't have any portfolio projects as such. So I'm just looking at how to do that.
Hmm.
So he, even before I can say something I'm looking for some project. Do you have any project or something like that?
Yeah.
Extra projects. Even before that, he just jumped on. He was dude, you want projects? You want to show your portfolio? Take it from me. I have a lot of collection. You just show it as yours.
Use my projects, use my clients.
Yeah, use
to showcase.
not clients, but you use my project, my portfolio. You show
The
it
work
as
that is
yours.
done for his clients, you could use his.
Exactly.
Okay, super.
And I was I didn't expect this. I was not expecting this at all.
Hmm.
But if he is happy to give that, पूरे दिल से दे रहा है वो.
Superb.
दिल से वो.
Selfless.
Yeah, selfless.
Yeah.
And I was okay, wow.
So the universe actually surprises you in ways you can't even imagine.
Exactly.
Absolutely, it has to. So, talking about selflessness, I mean, I'm big on selflessness.
Yeah.
I'm so fucking big. I mean, at times I even wonder how could I let it pass.
Yeah.
So basically, long back when I was just getting into freelancing, it's not even long back. It's just a few years back. So there was this agency who had outsourced a particular project to us, and we wanted money. Me
Yeah.
and two more guys I was working with, and for some reason there was a delay happening because obviously we were trying to chew more than we could
Bite off.
bite off, correct?
Yeah.
So the guy who outsourced the project to us clearly understood that we didn't have the bandwidth, or he even realized that we were not that capable to finish it as well. So he told me, listen, in life, if you're committed to this line of business,
Hmm.
you'll have n number of projects.
Yeah.
You just need to learn to say no. By saying yes to every money making
Yeah.
deal,
Yeah.
and you not being able to achieve or accomplish that in a stipulated time frame, you're only screwing yourself. So that hit me hard.
Yeah.
And obviously I didn't turn that project down. I was like, no, I'll finish it. Let me finish it. When that project was finished, let's say they needed 100 participants for a particular project. It was 1,000 actually.
Okay.
They were supposed to participate in a campaign by a particular brand
Okay.
where they needed individuals to create a video to pass. So there was a challenge by a company, by a brand, and they wanted people to participate, people like us. So we needed videos, and it's a difficult job.
True.
To have thousands of people participate, create the video, and then you pay them as well. Obviously, we were getting paid. So we were asked for 1,000 videos. We finished those 1,000 videos, and then obviously he saw that now he felt we could complete that project, and he asked me for 500 more, and that's when I said no.
Yeah.
No, I don't have the bandwidth.
But here the beauty is he didn't just opted out of the ongoing project. He took the responsibility to finish
Exactly.
it.
Exactly. So
Absolutely, I like my name being cleared.
Yeah.
true.
I do not want to
He
leave
took the
anyone
responsibility
hanging.
no matter what, how the
I
chunk
bust
is
my
big.
ass for it.
Yeah.
I
Absolutely.
paid. So basically, I didn't even feel like making money over it as much as because
Yeah.
I didn't even get any for the projects from him.
Okay.
We're still in touch.
Okay.
But I chose not to because again, bandwidth issue, you have to understand what are the margins you're going to make if you're going to spend 3 hours or 4 hours a day. And the margins is what I look at. I work with influencers all day long.
Yeah.
There are times when brands with limited budget. So I have to close the deal for my influencers.
Okay.
Okay? And it's always a fight that they don't have the budget for it. And still, that is when I try to convince my creators, it's okay, let's do for it.
Yeah.
Every time we won't get the same pricing for a particular collaboration. So it's okay. So the graph has to be up and down, right? Sometimes you
always will,
settle for
yeah.
less because you need to understand. It's not like it's a big brand and they are not willing to pay.
Right.
Then I step my foot down and say no.
Yeah.
And that is where the influencers trust me.
Yeah.
Because I do business on
You
their
you
behalf,
take calls
right?
for them, yeah.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Absolutely. And it's not always ringing them up ki abhi haan bolu, do I say yes or no? No. They trust me with the decision.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
whatever I do it good for them. It has to turn out to be good. So the burden that I have to carry on a day in and day out basis. So when I work with my influencers for a particular collaboration, I understand that there's a crunch for money
Mhm.
from the brand side.
Mhm.
And me being a typical agency guy, we always have a habit. Do you need more influencers?
Mhm.
I always ask everyone. Even if there's an agency I closed a deal with for my influencer,
Mm.
my exclusive creators, I'd always ask, do you need more creators? Because that is how we make money.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Sure.
when I understand that there's shortage of budget, and they they tell me like, and most of the times they are the ones asking for more creators, and I'm like, dude, listen me out. Just hear me out. Basically, that you don't have budget. I can give you my database. I can give you 100 more profiles who would love to collaborate with you. But again, they would be very punitive or no margins for me to work. Let me share the direct contact numbers of their exclusive managers or directly the creator. And this is very common. Like
Yeah.
we share contacts, but then this is very common. This is very uncommon for people to give away business.
Yeah.
If a client of mine that if I have good relation with them, even if they have good budgets, I have given them contact numbers to establish that trust. So it is an intentional act, knowing that I have to make money, I have to lose money. So I have to purposely leave money on the table to show that I'm at scale, I'm at large. It's okay.
So it's more skin in the game. The way.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
people find it very. At times they're shocked. Why would an agency do that?
Yeah. Gets them
Yeah, they're
hooked onto
wondering
you
all the time.
Yeah,
They're wondering all the
gets
time.
them hooked onto you in a real mysterious way. Yeah.
And that's when they want to be in touch with me.
Absolutely.
And that's when they don't negotiate at times. They know the prices I'll give them will be
So
the best.
that's your cost of customer acquisition.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
None spent. Anna, it's basically I invest time in acquiring my clients. So there's this client of mine. Basically, they've started a new app, and the parent company is pretty big. I would
Okay.
not like to name them.
Mhm.
So I really needed that business because
Yeah.
I know how much they're going to be spending
Mm.
over the couple of years on different platforms. So I got an inquiry directly from the brand, and they were like, there was no action. I gave them 50, 60 creators, and there was no action on the sheet. Like they were not giving remarks. They kept on asking for profiles, and I was like, listen, dude, you select any profile you want. Okay, I'll give you at cost. There would be no margin. And I told him upfront, I need your business.
Mm.
Basically, we worked with influencers at scale on Instagram, YouTube, and Moj,
Yeah.
right? So I know I can get money from them.
Yeah.
Starting off with YouTube was just an initiation so that I show that I have that scale and I have that heart
Yeah.
to do it for you.
Mm.
So today he pinged me up asking for few costings,
Mm.
and the charges that I gave him, he was like shocked. He was like, let's lock it. And so when I did that, I actually didn't know was I doing the right thing. So when I say the creators trust me with the responsibility that I would do good business on their behalf, the founders of my company, like I work for Crazy Fox, so they have also entrusted me, and they trust me that I'll do good for the company.
Mm.
So it's not always about. So basically, one thing I've realized, to make money, you cannot always think about money. You have to think about building relationships, nurturing them. Like Virat used to tell me, like there's a lead, there's nurturing the lead,
Yeah.
and then there could be closure,
Yeah.
right? So
But I guess ultimately, what would last here is not earning money, but even earning people.
Yeah.
absolutely, at times, yes. There are a lot of people who don't respect me for that.
True.
There are a lot of people who still don't understand what I'm trying to do for them.
True.
They reject me anyways. But it doesn't stop. It doesn't allow, I don't allow myself to stop. Because as long as I'm convinced, so this is like I said, the ideal scenario and the ideal decision,
Yeah.
the ideal action, not the obvious action. The obvious action would have been to make some money,
Mm.
keep some margin so that I give some money back to the company, justify my salary. No. So the aim has to be long. कि मैं YouTube पे, why do I make margins which might end up in punitive figures, where I can let them hooked onto my service, which is bang on.
Yeah.
And then, so I told him upfront, like YouTube, you run the entire campaign for 3 months, 6 months. I won't charge you a single penny. I won't keep my margins.
Okay.
We're big on Instagram, we're big on Moj as well. When you go for those platforms, allow me to make some money.
So you're responsible for whatever you say, and definitely actions follow. Yeah.
But
It's beautiful.
Now, I don't know. Like, obviously, it was a good proposition for him.
yeah,
Now he's seen my costing for YouTube and he's given me that opportunity, which I'm thankful for. But then again, I do not know, would he come back to me for Instagram? Because now that I've expressed my intent as well to make money. So the earlier we were talking about, right? You going up to a girl and saying that I'm not looking for something serious.
Yeah.
I'm in it for fun, discovery, or whatnot, but not to mislead you,
Of
right?
course.
You're being honest.
Absolutely.
Honesty will always be punished.
In ways you can't even imagine.
Absolutely. You will still be accused. So I still get accused of keeping margins at times.
Yeah.
Like agencies would feel, oh, bro, they know the prices are good.
Yeah.
But they would still feel, oh, man, you're keeping margins. You told me you won't. That is their tactic to further bring the prices down.
Absolutely.
prices down,
Absolutely.
So they are committed to their game, right?
yeah.
You better be committed to yours.
Absolutely. Why does
They're
it have to
entitled
change
to
mine?
their own game.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I admire people's commitment.
Yeah.
So it's the way of seeing things, right?
Yeah.
If you're a negative person, you're committed to your thought. I could just try to educate you or give you more information about not being or not behaving in a certain fashion, but you will behave the way you want to. So again, I don't feel obligated or I don't. So currently at this phase of my life, I'm not in a zone where I would want to shake every tree, show its fruits, because once the fruits have fallen, I cannot put it back again.
Agreed.
So I'm not there to educate each and everyone. You have to express intent that you would love to know more. Anyone comes up to me, ask about influencer marketing. I don't know how many times I've told you guys about influencer marketing.
So
And I make it appear as a cakewalk because there is no rocket science. There is no degree to attain.
So that brings me to this very important point. That is like the thing you told about the margin, like your competitor was.
And the
like,
more
bro,
selfless acts I do, I measure my day that way subconsciously. The more selfless acts I do, I know there is a guarantee to it. Expectation? No, because I am not. So basically, when I'm doing something good for someone, I'm not visualizing the exact output, what I'll be getting in return, be it money or anything. No, I just feel the goodness would not come from them directly.
So I'll hold you there.
So what I was saying is there is this important factor that I could see is like that as I said this earlier when we used to hang out in that cafe.
Okay.
So this is the very most important part of this is like, you are helping, you are being selfless, but at what cost? The cost. The
Correct.
cost should never be like, costing you your peace of mind.
Correct. And the cost that I pay is
Because-
never at my own expense.
Yeah.
I'm passionate
You
about
don't
this
want to
thing.
go
Bloody.
go to bed with like, heavy chest and like, things
No.
triggering you.
And,
Just because
and the cost
you are
that
being
you pay,
selfless.
your
Yeah.
appetite increases if you are, if you think of it from a long-term perspective.
So let me actually give you guys the structure to it. Perhaps this is the structure. The cost which you might just be talking about might just be an opportunity cost, right? I mean, something value of.
So how much are you willing to
How
pay?
much are you
so
willing to
the
Yeah.
more you are long-term oriented,
So again, but let it be opportunity cost right there. But if you're operating still out of expectation that maybe my opportunity cost would have been lesser,
you will be stingy in
Agreed.
paying that cost.
Agreed.
Nah, then
it doesn't work.
you relieve yourself of this expectation.
Exactly. That exactly is what I'm trying
And
to sort of bring
how
out.
I differentiate, like this is not a definite thought that I have, but at times I do feel like what makes me different from
Yeah.
others is my appetite to leave money on the table.
So okay, that's
Financially, basically,
that's a
in business
beautiful conversation for a beautiful day. But
Correct.
I think because it's in depth, right? Because I actually want you to talk more about how you relate to money, how you feel abundant to money, and how, I mean, I won't say treat money in a certain way, but what sort of a relationship you maintain with money. I mean, that's a very deep one. But I guess in the interest of the whole premise that when you are saying about being selfless and sort of not expecting, but what I'm trying to sort of bring out here is that one random act of kindness, very random, just woke up.
This was on
did
my
something.
vision board. I'd shared a picture with you.
Yeah,
If you
agreed.
See, RAK, random act of kindness.
Absolutely.
So subconsciously, it's
True.
embedded in me, and I'm big on that.
True. I mean, you actually don't know how it's gonna really come back to you. I mean, it's in ways you can't even imagine. It's no, I won't say that you go out there, you find someone who's poor, give that person maybe $100 or maybe a 200 or that helps them. But I don't know if I had to quote some example out here, what I did, which really I did it out of nothing. It was. See, again, I did in my own capacity, of course. So I came to know that our house help was facing certain problems in terms of raising her children. I just said randomly that I'll take care of their education. Now, I don't know where it came from. I don't know how it happened. I didn't want her to feel indebted. It just happened. And I mean, that was the beautiful bit, right? I mean, I am not even expecting the universe to come back to me in mysterious ways.
I mean, it's so bold of you to say that.
That is exactly how it works out.
I mean,
You're
that's
not even expecting it will come back to you.
exactly.
That is the beauty.
But that day I slept really well. I don't know why. I mean, I might just be going through some random shit, and that's happening. I mean, the actions are following through. The money is going into our account. The children are being.
So this could also be related to the need to feel good is when you take actions. Does it make sense?
Perhaps, but I mean, it's something which actually. I mean, you tend to go out there and find your purpose in life, right? I mean, this is very, very odd. I don't know. I can't find myself. I don't know what am I doing on this face of the earth. But I think there's no need for you to seek anything but just bliss. And then I think I found bliss in being selfless. Sure, there has to be certain limitations to it. I mean, you can't just
Not at the cost of your peace of mind or
Agreed.
your suffering end of the day.
So
That cannot be. That cannot
I'll
happen.
narrate a very funny, not a funny incident indeed, but I slid into one of the influencers' DM. This happened.
It's a good one.
That's a good one. Yeah.
I have, but only for work purpose.
Okay, but no. So this one was a real beautiful one. I did slide into a DMs once, around 2-3 years ago. So happens that we happen to be more platonic and more friendly in nature and digging into the same set of deeper conversations as we have.
What do you mean by platonic?
But platonic, I mean just friendly, non-sexual ways. I mean,
So there's no sexual tension basically.
Absolutely
there's no
not.
need to make moves or anything like that.
perhaps I'm attracted more to her conversations rather than her as a sexual being. Perhaps.
All right.
So yeah. So I slid into her DMs. We hit it off as friends. We were talking probably once a month or something like that. So we were more like pen pals. So the other day, me being me, the moping me, I actually reached out to her saying that, you know what, I need some answers. She's like, yeah, what is it? She's like, how much can I be selfless? She's like, you shouldn't. Like, why? And that's what we're taught, right? I mean, be as selfless as you can. I mean, give as much as you can. Shouldn't really think about it. She said, no, there's some sort of a problem here. And the problem comes in the whole innate need for a balance, right? I mean, can you be selfish and selfless at the same time also? Again, now how do I say it in a way that, you know, can you preserve yourself and still do good? No expectations, again, from doing the good, but at the same time, not at the cost that you won't be able to do good furthermore. So, for instance, your organization is probably taking care of a village. Might be spending, say, 10,000 INR every month to take care of the village. Just a number. I'm just randomly putting it out there. If your organization doesn't survive, where would the 10,000 INR come from?
True.
So that was kind of the example, very beautifully shared, sort of cited it on, and I was actually in tears because randomly I would be beating myself up for actually being good to people, being there for people when they needed me, but perhaps coming out of expectation that perhaps they'll be there for me when I need them, and what I found was crickets when I needed someone. So I mean that was actually a very, very lame phase, I would say. But then I came to realize that somewhere you need to sort of be selfish as well, but at the same time
Absolutely.
do good out there, put out good, and in mysterious ways you are actually going to find the things that you need. I mean,
And you should learn to. So basically, what also needs to be highlighted is know when to say no.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So
Magical two
basically,
letters.
like, let's say I am at a position where I can actually help people
Yeah.
financially.
Yeah.
Like my mom always used to tell me, like growing up as kids, like if someone asks you for $1,000, and if $1,000 is all you have, try giving them 250 or 500. It shouldn't happen so that
Exactly.
you've given them all of your 1,000 and then now you have to
Yeah.
look for your own survival.
This is what
Agreed.
So,
helping at the cost
ultimately
of your suffering.
what
Your
we
suffering.
always shy away from confronting ourselves is
Hmm.
our actions are a product of convenience.
Hmm.
I do good to people as per my convenience.
Yeah.
So let's say I'm helping you because it's convenient for me today.
Yeah.
Maybe tomorrow when you ask for help, I might say no. Because I am truthful to myself.
Yeah.
Why would I kid myself and then
Yeah.
you? So
Absolutely.
everything is as per convenience,
Yeah.
and convenience is often termed rude as well. So I don't believe in God, correct? But there would be instances where, as per my convenience, I would lean a little towards it. It's all a matter of convenience, right?
I only pray when I'm scared. Is it?
No.
No,
That is
not
what
you,
I'm
but yeah.
very adamant about. Like when I'm in need, I would never pray, and I don't pray at all. But then that is what I told myself one day. Like the day I stopped believing in God is like how it stopped is basically when I used to visit temples. I've spent a good amount of my time praying for myself, asking,
Beautiful.
wishing for myself. But I remember like till the last 2 or 3 years, and after that I completely stopped visiting any holy institution establishments. I had stopped asking for myself. I used to pray for my family, my mom, my dad, my grandmother, my sister. And even when my sister had gotten married, I was the one, because I knew how devotional they are, how much they lean towards God. Despite my wish, just to I felt that since they believe so much in God, let me go to Shirdi and send the invitation card. So I went there. I went to that place by myself with disbelief because I was not there for myself. I did it for my sister because I knew that would bring a good amount of happiness to them. And then that's when I stopped. So now, even with my parents, I'm like, you want to visit any place, I can go with you, but only till outside. I don't wish to go in. I don't disrespect, but I cannot be forced into entering your belief system, right?
Agreed. That's where you say no.
You should learn to say no.
Absolutely.
So ultimately, it's about. It's a very beautiful quote, yeah. You decide, you get to choose how people should treat you.
Oh yeah.
And also, coming back to expectations part, so there was this series, Two Detectives, which had Hartford Greenwood, the bald guy from Now You See Me, wonderful actor,
Yeah.
and Matthew McConaughey.
Yep.
So
Wonderful actor.
in the first series, I don't remember the quote perfectly, but what it meant was, if like let's say I'm misbehaving with you, let's say I did something wrong, and the only thing that's stopping you from doing the same to me is the divine expectation or the divine fear of karma biting you back, then you are full of shit, my friend, and you need to be called out in public.
Absolutely.
And I'm not able to comprehend that entirely, but then again, like, despite my disbelief, I do find myself at times, like, thinking of karma. I do say I do things without expecting.
Yeah.
But so maybe what I mean is, like, I'm not giving that expectation any shape or form. By that shape or form, I mean, ki if I'm helping you with money, I'm not expecting mola out of you as expectation.
Agreed.
So, this is to be discovered for myself.
Perhaps, I mean, like we were, sort of saying that mysterious ways of the universe. I mean, I don't know. Again, you said that you don't believe in God and the whole system.
So,
but yeah.
For me, my I won't say my God, but then if there is my God, then my God doesn't have a name. My God doesn't have a shape.
Agreed. I mean,
believe in the powers, but then again, as per my convenience.
Absolutely. I mean, with you 100% on that. But randomly, universe helped Ro with getting those clients projects, right?
Yeah.
Randomly, universe just helped me have a peaceful sleep. Right. So I mean,
that is where I feel how much we underestimate ourselves. The concept with God, I'll tell you firsthand, which I used to witness was, like, every day I used to pray. Roz hum Hanuman Chalisa bolte the. My mom even taught me Durga Chalisa. I still remember a few pages of it. I've never recited in the past 10 years, I believe. So what I noticed, there was a pattern in my family. If I have performed well in studies, see, mandir jate hain to Bhagwan ne kiya.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, if I'm failing, then it's my own karma.
Yeah.
Then God, so there's a beautiful quote in Superman Returns, or where there's what's that villain, man? Jesse Eisenberg. Superman versus Batman. So he says, the villain, I'm forgetting the name. So he's the actor, Jesse Eisenberg. So he said, God must be tribal. He takes sides. If he is all powerful, then he cannot be all good. If he is all good, then he cannot be all powerful.
That's a very beautiful quote.
So what were you talking about? I missed that part. So how did I get to this point?
Okay, so the whole defense system just got activated when it was speaking about belief system. But then again, coming back, what I was trying to actually tell here is, universe will actually surprise you in ways you can't even imagine.
So,
in ways which is...
Again, so sorry to interrupt, but I had to address this. So you say conveniently that universe helped you have a good sleep, or universe helped Ro find a client. It was all your bloody actions and your belief system.
And every action comes with a cost.
Agreed. I mean, you call it universe, you call it your actions. Amen. But
why not you?
It just happened, and I'm okay with that.
Okay.
It just happened. I mean, sure, it was me.
Absolutely.
I mean, I did that. I completely take ownness of whatever I did, and then it came in multifolds. It came in whatever folds. Again, very happy to have that. But still, I mean, I would still sort of try to put myself out there furthermore, probably in terms of that pursuit of not just a peaceful sleep, but how it feels.
Absolutely.
More fulfilled.
Yes.
I feel more powerful. Pardon me. I feel more powerful. I feel more, I don't know, having an inch in my step every single day.
True. Adding an inch.
Why not?
Okay.
Why not? People are actually missing that. And I don't know where we've lost the plot, where we're probably running behind fulfilling just things which we need. But I think having spaces where you can actually correlate to such ideas of just giving, just giving out of nothing. That's something beautiful. And I think one very beautiful thing which I was very recently listening to, I guess that was Simon Sinek. Something very beautiful you can gift someone is confidence. Very beautifully put.
So true.
I mean, I don't think it can be anything more selfless, anything without expectations. Just be there for the person. As simple as that. I mean, you're not supposed to lift that person up when he's falling, or
So
probably give him
allowing the person to behave in a certain fashion that they feel good.
absolutely,
So prolonged duration of that eventually gradually makes the person feel confident, right?
absolutely, and people are lacking that. Lack
So
of
let's
father
say
figures.
tomorrow
lack
you
of
suddenly show up in a bandana and these baggy jeans.
yeah,
You're trying something different, right?
yeah,
And if I allow you, by allowing, I mean if I don't criticize, if I
Okay.
just shut my pie hole up
hmm
and appreciate, or even at least not highlight the drastic change that you're. So people, self-amusement, I mean, sarcastic, adding sarcasm. So if I don't highlight that particular change that you brought in your life, like you've changed your fashion all of a sudden, if I don't criticize, that would build your confidence in a way.
sure,
Maybe when you went out, you thought, "Ki, I don't need appreciation for my fashion sense, but God, please let there be no criticism." Could be for certain people, right? And when that doesn't happen, when there's no opposition, so when you say allowing, for me, I feel this is allowing also.
But I would
To
say
be you.
this is a flawed philosophy, because
As in,
this is a flawed philosophy because I'm trying to
seek validation.
exactly, this is now what you're basing is like, if someone criticizes me, God, there shouldn't be any criticism. If someone cannot say like, break my confidence or build my confidence, it is again boils down to inner work. If you have certain
so
things
again,
inside
inner
going
work
on,
would be a new term for a lot of people. Inner work was new for me a few weeks back.
yeah, it was new for me as well, because I was
But then
lacking
again,
so
to
much.
those who lack
Yeah,
that.
so
Now I'll
I'm just-
hold you there. When you talk about inner work, how important is it to have a support system of people around you?
it is extremely important to have.
So don't you think they also help you build up your
But again,
confidence?
yeah, but what I'm saying is like, you shouldn't base your value on what
Agreed.
others
People who
Agreed.
are not able to identify this thing first, people who don't understand what inner work is. So there are people who have this flawed mentality, no? Instead of the flawed philosophy, people have flawed mentality that they seek validation from others.
No, humans are designed that way, right? I mean, you're going on Instagram every day seeking validation. You're going on, probably you're wearing dresses for seeking validation. You're wearing shirts, ties for seeking validation. You're
I would
owning
love to
cars.
go on Instagram all day to piss people off.
That's a separate thing.
I want to find a way.
But confidence, I mean,
Yes.
and I can't agree more with Ro here that it's an inner game, and it begins with your inside, but certainly it feels good to have someone actually resonate or someone actually echo what you are trying to put out there. Yeah. So beautifully, if I see someone bringing in confidence, it's probably a child taking his first steps. So everyone's cheering out there, and everyone's just trying to push that child to take his or her first step. Perhaps the child falls, but still there is going to be cheers, right?
Cheers,
And
yeah.
you don't see that of lately. I mean, where have we lost that? Why aren't you cheering for people
most
who are
of the places you wouldn't see that,
correct? Now
because our society is now constructed and like, majority families are dysfunctional. Now this again boils down to the functional versus dysfunctional families.
yeah.
So this is how, like, how important it is to have a very functional family. where both parents are loving, caring.
Yeah.
Because for a man and for a woman, when they are children,
Yeah.
they base their value of love and relationship looking at their parents.
Agreed. The first role models. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. For them, they are the god. They
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah.
Yes.
Great.
They try to replicate.
Now the parents are like, the mother and father are fighting. How the child is going to relate to it? So child is like, okay, this is love. Okay. Love's definition is, if you are fighting, then it is love. Now, when he or she grows up, they are going to be attracted to, like they say, like, love at first sight, no matter how dysfunctional it is. They are like, okay, this is my type of relationship. This is how it should be.
Yeah, even confidence building at that time. Right?
Exactly. The confidence. Now, what is confidence? It boils down to self-esteem,
Mm.
like self-reliability
Mm.
or self-assurance. And there is another, like the major component of two components of self-esteem, self-reliability and self-belief.
Yeah.
The belief in your own self,
Right.
that you don't feel like, even if someone tells you like you are like this, you're like that, or maybe in any way, in joking way or any way,
Mm.
but you are not at all affected by that. Because people can feel he has it. What is it? You don't know what is it. He has it, she has it. She has it. What is the definition of the it? They can feel it. Even without you opening your mouth, people can smell you off from the far. And they can this
Building your
this
own
is-
demeanor, is
this,
it?
this guy is something else only.
Yeah.
This girl is something else. Like, I don't know what it is, but I can feel the magnetic effect of that person.
Yeah.
Like, even if we say 1,000 bad words to him, they are going to be unmoved like a mountain.
Right.
But how is it possible? You have to look at how the kind of environment upbringing they have been in. What is the relationship? How is the relationship between the parent and the mother and the father? So it goes so much deep down to that. That is what is lacking in most of the societies, right? these
And
days.
this would always lack. People don't want to be confronted.
Because as
People don't want to be challenged about their parenting
that is the problem.
because they are gods.
Yeah.
Like, just imagine convenience, right?
Okay.
Who would have started it all? How did it all begin?
But
To control. So
that is the problem now. You need
controlling.
to, even I've had instances in my life, I had to understand, okay, parents are not like, they are victim of their own circumstances.
Yeah.
Right now, at this stage, we have access to, because of our own awareness, the presence of awareness is such that you can find your way out.
Yeah.
It is that motivation to break the chain and I want to build something better that not like my previous family never had. So that point of awareness.
So
And the
awareness
parents didn't
needs
have that.
So awareness needs accessibility as well. When I say accessibility, it means now we have means to search our thoughts, to seek.
No, we have easier means to search our thoughts. Let's put it that way.
Actually means, I would say.
Okay.
Actually means, I would say. How many times have your parents tried to pawn you off to well-educated relatives of theirs? Ki please isko thoda padha dena. Try to teach him English. With me, it has happened because means kya hai? What they feel is like they relate. Like educated people were looked upon at that time.
Okay.
I used to learn English. I used to go to a relative's house. My father's first cousin, sister, Bua, basically. That didn't help. But then he held them in high regard. He felt they are very resourceful because of the stature they have in society. Not because of wealth, but also because of education. And now when I say we have actual means, easier means, back then there was no internet. Who would you go to seek definition of life, awareness, self-esteem? Pandits?
Books.
How? So accessibility again.
That would
Those
boil
time
down
books.
to
Accessibility again.
accessibility. But if you
How many
remember-
libraries would have been there?
No,
So, okay. So I'll add.
So I'm just saying now we are able to actually half the diseases. If you're feeling something, people Google the shit out of it and come to a conclusion.
Yeah.
And 9 out of 10 times it is, or 8 out of or 7 out of 10 times it is correct when they go to the doctor.
Okay.
Huh,
We shouldn't do that, but
absolutely,
okay.
there's not prescribing, but I'm just saying
Yeah.
I've attended curiosity. If I'm feeling something tonight, I cannot wait till tomorrow morning to find out
Okay.
what the doctor would say. I would just type my symptoms, right? Now I can actually Google self-esteem, and there's plethora of content out there. And but then again, understand, Jordan Peterson surfaced few years back, and
Yeah.
despite being in digital age, we still didn't have accessibility.
But we are in such an age where there is
No excuse.
information is exploding. Now
And
it is up to you what you are going to choose.
correct.
That is like
So,
we are
we're
in
going to
an
be
age
spoiled
of-
for choices.
We are in an age of information pollution. You have a lot of
This is a very good
information.
term.
Yeah.
Wow.
That is what. Now, if you remember, I don't know if you have guys read about Paytm Paytm founder, Mr. Vijay.
Yeah.
So,
Vijay Shekhar
did you
Sharma.
know how he learnt English? He was coming from a vernacular medium.
Okay.
So he was so motivated and he wanted to learn. I don't know what was his motivation, but he was having this light of awareness inside him. He wanted to learn English. What he did, he took out physics English book. He took out physics Hindi book. Word by word, he started comparing all the words and started deriving the meaning.
Okay.
That is how he was learning English.
To the extent to
Like-
which he could go.
Like, what was his motivation? What was the hunger behind that? Why he wanted, even in vernacular medium, he didn't have any option.
Yeah.
He wanted to be
He was coming from a
valid.
village.
Yeah.
He was coming from a village. He was not a city guy.
Accessibility.
So his ambitions, right?
His
and
ambition,
he knew
yeah.
that not knowing English,
Exactly.
he could not live, like he could not carry that burden, right?
Exactly. He wanted to grow.
People who are adamant that I know I'll be successful
He
and I
had the
won't
way
change
through.
my methods.
He came up with his own solution. How am I going to learn?
Vijay Shekhar Sharma,
Vijay
forget
Shekhar
him.
Sharma, yeah.
12th standard,
Yeah.
like although I'm a dropout, I've always had education in English. I only started talking in English. So basically, I've been talking English all my life, all broken.
Yeah. Oh,
But
that's
how did I learn fluency?
Even I
Was
did
through
that, yeah.
subtitles. Till
Yeah.
date, I
I
don't
still
watch
do.
any movie.
Yeah.
I've walked out of theaters. Then normally I prefer before booking the tickets. I don't prefer first day first show because then I don't know if there are subtitles or not, and I'm too lazy to walk up to the theater and then ask them other subtitles. If she says no, then I walk out. No, I'll always wait or I'll check are there subtitles in this theater, and if there are, then only I prefer, because that's how I remember these quotes. I jot them down. Vocabulary. So English also had, for me, it had multiple phases in life. So now I understand English, the meaning, the vocabulary. Then I learned how to talk. But then I realized that I cannot be funny when I'm communicating. Now I need to be
Funny.
smart communicators.
Yeah.
My source of inspiration was Charlie Sheen. I
why
wanted
not?
to be funny like him. Sarcasm
Two and a
at its
half,
best.
On point.
So
On
I
frickin' point.
prescribed myself to 2.5 Men. I still till date I watched till 9 seasons. Now I pick any season and I can remember the dialogues. I can finish it.
So the
So
best part was now, I still remember that, I used to wonder, how he is he, so good with dialogues, out of the blue, he would come up with some funny dialogues.
And
Abhishek.
I always admit
And he told
that
me,
these are stolen.
yeah, he told me, how did you do it? So he told me, bro, I used to, watch movies and I would literally write down the dialogs.
Till date, if I'm watching
And I
any
was
YouTube
so
video, if there's a
impressed.
very good line, I note it down.
I just loved that about this thing about
Brilliant.
him. He used to write down those dialogues and memorize and
The
now
commitment he has
yeah,
towards it.
commitment.
Yeah. See, because earlier we
I'm-
were talking about, right?
To
Like
this day, I'm still surprised.
for you to reach this level,
Yeah.
if at all this was a level that I'm at, for you to reach this level, maybe you won't have to slog so much.
Okay.
For you, it might come natural. But for me, I have to be at a certain point, right? So I
you-
cannot shy away from putting in efforts.
Yeah.
That was one
So you
thing.
found a vocability to it.
Yeah, because I knew
He
who's
came
going
up
to
with
help
a
me.
solution.
Yeah.
Who's going to help me? I remember my dad used to tell me, we should talk in English at home.
Mm.
But then I was so convinced that this guy doesn't know English himself.
Yeah.
How can I learn from him? So that was a barrier. But then I realized that your fluency comes with
Practicing.
practicing, continue, like always. So when I started having people who spoke English, that's when I started practicing. So you need a platform, company, you need people, right? So
Yeah.
I had my own support group per se for English.
Okay.
I used to beg my friends, let's talk in English. Their English was no doubt better than me.
Mhm.
But then they used to laugh. They're like, this guy wants to learn English. Huh? Then they used to come up with all those Bhojpuri accents and all and make fun of me, and they never supported basically.
So that's the missing bit, right? I mean,
Correct, but
the
it didn't
confidence.
stop me, right?
Yeah.
It didn't stop me. And today I can say with confidence, not only do I have good grammar, but I am actually pretty good at English.
So your inner work was on point, but even the lack of people giving you confidence,
So it's
didn't
very
really stop
easy
you.
now, blame.
it didn't stop you. That's what I'm trying to say.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, and again, it's like maybe I have this inherent belief where I undermine people actually. Like whenever it comes to something negative or whenever it comes to like when even like people not supporting me, I always feel it's okay. They lack the vision. Very convenient for me to say. I'll still do it. There are a lot of things that I've done which I shouldn't have.
Yeah.
But now that I've done it, I'm able to witness a lot of things
Yeah.
which I could not in the past. So being bullish. And who can you be bullish on? You're bullish
Yourself.
on stocks. You're bullish on crypto. Bloody be bullish on yourself, man.
On yourself.
First, start being bullish on yourself.
Yeah.
So
Not just
you
kind.
determine your own value. You determine your own value.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And that is how you build a positive and a very magnetic demeanor. I actually understood what demeanor meant a few years back. I used to feel I didn't like his demeanor, and I thought there's a negative connotation to it.
Yeah.
But then demeanor is how people perceive you when you enter the room.
Absolutely.
And a lot of times I've heard people used to feel like, he's this angry guy, and some people used to feel, he's a spoiled guy. Some people used to feel he's a sweet guy. And now what I want to actively work on is building my demeanor. Who I am, I want it to be reflected.
I guess the step one to it is just accepting who you are right now.
Yes. So I am at terms with myself, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of times what happens is my only concern is I don't want to appear unapproachable. I might get irritated. I might be short-tempered, this and that.
Yeah.
But I do not want a situation where, and by unapproachable, I don't mean chicks. I don't mean women. I don't mean dating.
Or probably those guys who are trying to hold
I
up
mean
prank on you.
opportunities, man. I mean opportunities. What if I'm intelligent but my demeanor makes me look dumb?
Yeah.
What if I'm going out there presenting myself, pitching,
Yeah.
but my demeanor is not strong enough? I don't know if you all have noticed, and I'm sure you all have noticed, but I've seen guys who entered the room and I'm in awe of them. I find them very sophisticated, despite like they're not even wearing branded clothes. I notice that a lot, basically.
And
I-
in those auras, yeah.
And I feel it's like I get very curious at times. Like, how have they worked? You always find charming guys, right? How are they charming? Some guys are full of shit as well.
Of course.
That's why they're pretending. But I don't want to be that. I just want to control my demeanor. Like the way I am, I'm very open. I'm easy with confrontations.
Yeah.
I'm open to ideas, challenges.
Yeah.
I just want my body language to speak the same. And I know it's very difficult, but I would want to work on it
So
actively.
with those charming guys, they accept themselves completely.
Exactly.
They're like,
Yes.
okay, this guy doesn't like, I don't care. This girl doesn't like me, I don't care. I have my audience.
Yeah.
a
That is the
belief.
thing.
So this is the entire belief system. At least
This
for
is
me
the
to be a
belief
part of
system. Yeah.
Let's VAbE,
The whole
VAbE
values
is,
and the
because I'm
awareness
out
and the
here to
beliefs.
find my own audience.
Yeah.
Why not?
If listening to this podcast you don't feel attractive, or if you feel like this is full of shit, then it's okay.
It's okay.
You can move
We
on.
are having fun.
Yeah.
You can move on.
We're not
then
holding
the,
you to
the
sit
listeners,
here.
I'm saying it's okay. You can
Absolutely.
move
We're not
on.
holding you to sit here. Come on.
Exactly. Because there
We're
are
not paying
people.
you even.
There are people who
Damn.
can actually relate.
Absolutely. And perhaps we're holding a space for you guys.
Yes.
Yeah.
The
Come here.
safe space.
To save space.
Speak.
Yeah. Exactly.
Reach out to us. DM us. Don't slide into our DMs. Girls can, but guys, I mean, no offenses, but yeah. Comment.
But it's, I mean, it's very, how we started off, like why VAbE, right?
Yeah.
So we are, I mean, again, coming back to the original topic.
I mean, that's the beauty, right? I mean, the thought which I thought was to put something good out there. It comes back to it. It doesn't.
Doesn't.
It doesn't matter. I don't care.
Don't care.
I really don't. I mean, even if there's one person whose lives we touched and he did some random act of kindness.
We
Wow.
come
That's-
from abundance.
Absolutely.
We are not here to mint money,
Absolutely.
make money.
This is what I call
We
like
are out here to give.
negotiating from the position of strength.
Hmm.
Correct? And
This is-
decisions will gradually turn out to be good only.
Yeah.
Always will. Always will.
We are not here to make sense so that we could gain popularity, then
at all.
attract money. No. In the process of being ourselves, we attract wealth, women, and a lot of other things.
That's just a side effect of it.
No, but
Of
Welcome.
I agree from a materialistic standpoint. I get you, but the fulfillment which you get out of just being peaceful, that you're putting some good things out there.
Giving.
That's it.
Giving.
That's it.
we are like, if I have to put it down like this, we are like radios. We are just tuned into a frequency. We are putting that frequency.
Wow.
Those who like our music,
Can tune it.
subscribing to our frequency.
Absolutely.
There are people out there like, okay, someone come up like this with something. We need some guidance.
And it's not like we've figured it all out,
Not at
We
all.
haven't.
but we are committed to figuring it out.
Absolutely.
I mean,
This is how everything starts.
exactly.
And on our journeys, the guys can really hear us
So
out.
in a way,
Probably figure something out for
so
themselves.
no matter how confident we might sound to
Yeah.
certain people, but
Yeah.
we are vulnerable people.
Oh, absolutely.
And we don't mind
Vulnerability is
displaying
beautiful.
our vulnerability.
Vulnerability is beautiful. Vulnerability is the most potent soil through which strength arises.
So beautiful.
That's what I see.
Calm seas never made great sailors.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Right?
One after another. Huh?
Yeah.
There was one more. There was one more. A diamond is always made in pressure.
Just back to back Kamehameha we are doing.
Yeah, for sure.
Dragon balls.
Correct.
Dragging our balls, for sure. For sure. The drag.
Through thick and thin.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess we'll try to, sort of come to an outro out here. Beautiful in terms of our first podcast.
I swear all this while I was thinking, how would the outro come to?
Yeah.
I mean, what topic would make it end? But then again, it's like it
It's
came
beautiful,
naturally.
I
I would like
Natural
to say like,
progression.
those who find us interesting, listening to us, and they find a purpose or meaning, like however they find us.
Yeah.
Like we love you all. And even if you don't like us at all, we still love you all.
Yeah, I mean, you
There is
guys have
no-
stayed
without
till
any
now.
judgment,
And they've
no
sticked
judgment,
on till now. I don't know.
Yeah, no judgment, no prejudices.
They're committed.
Yeah,
That I'm committed. They're
Yeah.
sticking on till now. Wow.
yeah.
2.5 hours. Or more. Wow,
It's
that's beautiful.
just like, we are like river flowing without any
True that.
constraints.
True that. But I guess this is what we're committed for, bringing in some good conversations, some food for thought, some things to really ponder upon, some things to reflect upon, some things to really actualize upon. Very heavy terms. We'll start, getting there.
So,
Maybe next
yeah.
we'll try and speak more about integrity and what is integrity.
Mhm.
And also, like, I would like to put it out there as a cue for our probably third episode or second. Like, since we've
Yeah.
already decided we'll talk about integrity, but what I would also personally want to discuss,
Yeah.
at least in the first 5 episodes anywhere, is
Yeah.
like hard times make hard men. Hard men make easy times.
Yeah.
Easy times
times
make soft men.
Soft man.
Soft men make hard
Hard
times.
man.
So
It's a circle. Beautiful circle.
we would love.
Yeah.
I would love to.
Definitely, we should talk about
Yeah,
it.
we should talk about it
Definitely.
in the third podcast probably.
Yeah.
There's so many contents to.
So many things to
much
talk
things
about.
to discuss.
So less time.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I guess
We might be late to the party, but we are here to stay.
absolutely. The confidence that we can give each other is
True,
probably hearing us out.
Yeah.
And yeah, seeing you guys around.
Yeah. It was a nice session of self-amusement.
So that's it for the night. And good day, good evening, good morning, and
Seeing off.
Yep.
Be seeing you.
for sure.
Like
We-
whenever I used to leave from home, so I had a habit of saying, "ठीक है मैं जा रहा हूँ." So my mom used to say कि it's not good to say मैं जा रहा हूँ. Always say मैं आ रहा हूँ. तो हम आ रहे हैं.
I'll add it.
आ रहा हूँ.
I'll
बहुत
add
बेकार.
something like to all those sexy ladies out there. Don't forget to.
There had to be an ulterior motive.
Oh, absolutely. The expectations are in.
So I'm all those sexy ladies out there.
Yeah.
Don't forget to call me.
Yeah.
Bro.
And let me address the term sexy on his behalf. Sexy is not the societal term sexy or what movies
If we
mean
vibe,
by
we
being
vibe.
sexy. If you're
That's it.
comfortable in your own motherfucking skin,
Yeah.
You're
you
fucking
are
sexy.
Yeah.
bomb.
If we vibe, we vibe. If we don't, we call it a night.
What?
Wow.
Yeah.
What?
And if we vibe, it would be like dating me is like the professor you have always wanted to date.
That was refreshing.
Superb.
That was refreshing. So yeah, that's it for the night. And this is we and Ro and AB Chan signing off. Good day.
Be seeing you.
Be seeing you. Be seeing you.
Ta-da.
You just heard the VAbE podcast. And this is us signing off, leaving you all with a beautiful, beautiful track. Music credits in the description below. Find us on the major platforms by Google, Apple, Spotify, and YouTube. Links in the description. Show us some love in the comments below. And do tell us what you loved about our thoughts. This is us signing off yet again. Peace.
Are you sitting here, sick and tired of the same old shit? You millennial love songs, every other person trying to ride ahead. Back in the day, the music asked for nothing more. Now all you hear is same old stupid dumb for chords. Don't be enslaved, just play yourself some rock and roll. Be yourself, doesn't matter how young or old. Friday night, won't you come and take me home? Friday night, I'll get you off your stupid phone. Friday night, I'll rock your world and then some more. more. Baby, I ain't gonna work on a Friday night. True love won't come in the day job. Over again and all around like being 17 again. I just need to hear that sound like a Judas Priest down all day. All I know that tomorrow's gonna be alright. I need my music like I need my Friday.